together and everything else. So when you ordered Form 100s before, they had to go to the one, the little cubby that's for Texas,
yeah,
and pull them out. That was, anyhow.
All right, well, it's we're at 7 o'clock, and I'm recording the meeting, so I'll send out the recording to everybody. You can share with your councils. I'll try to edit it down, but what we've all been, at least all councils and GKs, have been part of the diocesan midyear, so you've already received the push down of information. What I want to focus today is more on the discussion and implementation to see how close we can get to hitting our goals for the year. And also sharing the information. We already know that there's some things that are being done at the council level that are best practices. So I want to take the time today to really to dig into the best practices of what's going on, where we're seeing success. But brothers, if you first please stand, and let's repeat the prayer for Blessed Michael McGivney in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. God, our Father, protector of the poor and defender of the widow and orphan, you called your priest, Blessed Michael McGivney, to be an apostle of Christian family life and to lead the young to the generous service of their neighbor. Through the example of his life and virtue, may we follow your Son, Jesus Christ, more closely, fulfilling his commandment of charity and building up his body, which is the church. Let the inspiration of your servant prompt us to greater confidence in your love, so that we may continue his work, caring for the needy and the outcast. We humbly ask that you glorify Blessed Michael McGivney on earth, according to the design of your holy will. Through his intercession, grant the favor we now present. Through Christ our Lord, amen. In the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Amen. And I don't think we have a flag here. So face the storage room. Hand over your heart or salute if you're a veteran. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
America,
the Republic
for which it stands, one nation,
indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Please sit. And let's just have introductions real quick. Craig, we'll start with you.
Hello, I'm Craig Madrinsky, Community Director for 13408.
Awesome.
Among a few other things.
Frank Ramirez, Grand Knight for 8493.
Danny Daniels, the Deputy Grand Knight for Holy Cross 8493.
Anthony Carano, Grand Knight for 2045 Pilot Point.
Dean Hansen, Grand Knight of 17304 Prosper.
Larry Cox, Financial Secretary, Holy Cross 8493.
And who's on the webinar?
Terry. Terry Sullivan. I'm past District Deputy, District 30, and past Grand Knight of 13408.
Who else is on? BS. Who's BS?
Brandon Story.
There you go.
Brandon Story. I'm the recorder for 17 St. Martin de Porres.
And social director.
And who is LS?
Lisa?
We got Phil's LS. Nobody there? Probably Lisa.
Lisa's Story?
Yeah, it's Lisa's Story.
It might be.
And who is FK?
Forrest Kitcher.
Forrest? All right.
Yeah, that would be Forrest Kitzrow. Yeah, 17304.
Thank
He's
you,
the bingo
sir.
director at 17304.
Pleasure.
Online bingo director.
The former virtual online bingo director.
No, we couldn't get licensed.
Yes, currently the new Yak director. Thank you.
Great. And for those of you who don't know who I am your game show host, Rob DeLeo. Okay, so the agenda today, and again, the expectation is we get out of here within an hour. If there's any questions on some of the information that has been pushed out, let's take the time to clarify those items. But mostly I want to just get into a discussion and really planning on how we're going to execute on some of these things. And Craig, every once in a while, put your diocesan hat on, keep us honest.
Or my state hat.
Or your state hat, that's right. And there is going to be some changes to financial secretaries and controllers this year. So I give you a heads up on that.
What are they saying?
We'll pass that along to you shortly.
Nice for me to know.
Yeah. So
Trainer's the last to know.
so the agenda, we got several things. We'll go through a review of the council's membership growth, faith in action. Obviously, those are hot topics for the order. Membership experience. Want to take some time here on what are we doing to ensure that our members are having a good experience being a member, and how we keeping them engaged. Formation, training, open discussion, agency report. Since we don't see any agents here, looks like John and Chris will get a friendly call from me. And I'll tell you, I've told Chris several times, I haven't seen Art since the 100-year celebration.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you've seen him since then.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't. So
Antonio?
well, that would have been for John I didn't have his information, so I sent it to John and to Don.
John who?
John Regan. And then we'll get done. So the first thing is the council's status review. Just real quickly, I think everybody is following the new agenda. Anthony, you're down to 47 minutes.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we got it down to?
We got done 47 minutes.
47, you were at?
So we used it for the first time at the last meeting. It was
Yeah.
around 50 or so. Maybe it was less than just under an hour. It's like 50 minutes or
Yeah.
so.
Working well?
It would be better if I had let my financial secretary and recorder and other officers know that I was switching.
That you were switching on them?
Especially the financial secretary, because it really like, he doesn't show up until much later in the order than
Yeah.
he was used to. And so
Yeah.
he's like, what am I, like chopped liver?
Yeah.
There? So
Yeah, because it really diminishes their report.
In the
I didn't let
regular
mine know.
Yeah, the regular business.
Yeah, it's like, the FS ended up in new business, I think.
Yeah.
The FS report comes up.
Usually it was after the treasurer. And then
Yeah,
you-
treasurer and the FS.
To the committee reports and I'm looking around.
Well, just that change alone for Holy Cross probably cut out a half an hour.
Hey,
Could be.
Yeah,
And-
I didn't give my guys a heads up either, but as I walked into it, I prefaced it for everybody. I said, guys, this is new, and this is where I would have gone to you, but now I'm going to you, and I'll get back to you later on. So, and we went through it, so, yeah.
I did say I'm gonna use the new script here, but I didn't quite give a heads up there.
Yeah, I would think that the one thing, and I know we addressed it at Holy Cross, we addressed it at Pilot Point, the whole stand for the DD. We're one and done, okay?
So that's why Larry is quitting his FS, right?
Yes, yeah, because he can't talk anymore. So,
Okay, now we know the real reason.
well, I mean, I understand why they're doing it in some circumstance for the respect for the office, but that's only goes so far. And
Yeah, it was like the script says that everyone's supposed to rise for the district deputy.
rise for the district
I'm
deputy.
not used to that.
No, well, I'll tell you, what I read through the script, and I don't understand why you rise for the district deputy, but you don't for the chaplain.
Rise for the chaplain.
right?
I don't care what the script says.
So anyways, I know that,
Make some modifications.
we asked you to suspend on that.
Yeah.
We asked you to suspend on that. Dean, I'm not going to your business meetings anymore. So that's because Prosper is now on the same day as Carrollton. So I'm going to the Prosper,
Who allowed that?
he just did it. So,
You modified your local bylaws and got it approved by Supreme, right?
Yes.
so
We. It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the bylaws.
When you meet.
Did you guys set it up originally for second Tuesday?
So no, so that goes back to with Terry, right? When we were building putting the council together.
Yeah.
Because the second Monday was open, right? Because the first week is you two, right? You got Thursday, you got Monday. Second Monday was open. Third Monday is a Carrollton. Fourth Monday is the assembly. So that's why Prosper had second Monday. The issue that Prosper had is that they were having their business meeting the second Monday, planning meeting the third Monday. Now they're going 3 weeks before they actually enact anything. So they decided to switch it. But
We need to revisit the bylaws.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you do.
Bylaws.
I'm gonna put that down.
I got it. That will be good and short and sweet.
And it's a good thing that your financial secretary is healthy so he can change the bylaws and get that through. So anyways, with the council meetings, now Carrollton is not meeting live yet, right?
No, we're not allowed in the building yet.
Now, with the change that the bishop made, it's just not, I mean, because you guys are the only ones not meeting live in this district.
I believe so.
Yeah.
You know anything about that, Craig? Is there any particular reason that we can't meet live?
It's at the pastor's discretion.
That's right.
So I'm going to assume either our business manager or Rosemary doesn't want us in the building. They are going to start letting formation classes in the building. So
Right.
we should readdress that with the manager to say, hey, you know, we'll sanitize after we're done.
Yeah.
We'll start meeting in the garage once we get the garage fixed up.
You're not, technically, we're not even allowed to meet in the garage. Technically, we can meet outside in the parking lot.
Has there been any discussion in Carrollton on meeting off-site?
No.
Well, why is that?
It's our.
We got a great bar we could meet at.
No, I don't know.
All right.
Up to Prosper. Thursday night is open.
Thursday night.
There you go. We'll have Carrollton's meeting up in Prosper.
So Chuck, are you on the call at all?
No.
All right. So I'll follow up with Chuck to find out it, because if you can't, I mean, you guys are missing out on a lot of good fraternal activities. You know, so even meeting off-site would do you guys some good. Any challenges that we need to be aware of in terms of COVID restrictions other than meeting live? I think all councils basically have it under control, right?
Diocese rules right there.
I mean, we should be able to meet.
Yeah.
You should be.
75%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, meeting, you know, access wise for meetings are obviously we've been working here, you know, this location combined with Zoom or,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but as Danny just mentioned, it's like the impact on our fundraisers
Yeah.
has been.
Killer.
Now, we, fortunately, we were able to pull off the golf tournament
Yep.
last year. But it's like our 5K, 10K got canceled. Our fish fries, we made it halfway through before
Yeah.
that got canceled. And then, now the scramble with, first we're thinking maybe our casino night with 17304 has been, or 403.
304.
That, that's been canceled, and,
Yeah.
then the bingo, and the incredible idea with the bingo.
Go bingo.
That was looking like it's gonna be a real sweet deal.
Yeah.
Until the bingo commission quashed it. But, I mean, that's been a scramble.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I just got an email from the mother of a parishioner, of a high school student,
Yeah.
asking about scholarships. And I responded, I said, normally those come out in the spring,
Yeah.
applications. I said, under, with the current COVID conditions, we'll make that announcement if the funds are available, because we've had to cancel a lot of our funds.
Yeah, and you've been operating in the red this year, right? The council?
No,
You've been okay?
we've been okay. The projection is that, I think the projection is that we're gonna end up either in the red or just,
In the first 6 months that ended December, we spent 4,000 more than we took in.
Yeah.
Now, we still got the bank account.
Yeah.
But I did the audit today, and I was comparing last 6 months to this recent 6
Yeah.
months. We literally took in 50% of the monies we took in the first part of the year.
It's actually pretty darn good,
That is good.
considering.
Well,
Considering when everything fell off.
we were lucky to have the golf tournament
Right.
because there were a lot of people had cabin fever.
Yep.
And people came out to the golf course with $20 bills.
They had money, that they couldn't spend in.
You want a mulligan? Yeah. You want the raffle? Yeah. What else you got? And
We made good money on our golf
Yep.
tournament also.
yeah, I think people were just had cabin fever.
No, we didn't get to keep any of it, but it was.
Yeah, but like you said,
spoken
between
for.
the fish fry and the Vegas night and, some of our others.
5K kind of really killed you guys.
Yeah. Well, now, so when I was up in Pilot Point, in the reports, they were talking about your guys' financial health.
Mhm.
And it really, I asked the question, well, how well are you doing this year versus previous year, same time? You didn't have, nobody had the actual data points,
Right.
but you all just intuitively felt that you were,
We're about where we normally would be at that time of the year.
and there was a lot of creativity in order for you to be there.
Yeah.
Right? Because you changed a lot of what you were doing from fundraising. So
Change everything.
yeah, and so there's gonna be time later in the agenda to talk about that. But Anthony, I really want you to share some of those things because it really been working well for you. Some of the stuff that Carrollton has done, St. Catherine's has done with the grab and goes, and you've tried it, but I think the process up at Pilot Point has been locked down to really help them out. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Star Council, the Star Council award process. We got a couple of data points. I know that this may be a little tight for you to see, but it looks like, first of all, everybody's got a net gain on membership. All right, everybody, and we're down here. So we got Pilot Point's got a net 1, Colony's got a net 1, Carrollton's got a net 3, and Prosper's got a net 7. Okay, so that's working good. All of our 365s are in. We have some safe environment issues that we got to address, but we know, I think Frank and I talked, we already know what those are. Carrollton's got the program director. Who is that?
That's our deputy Graham.
I believe. Who was it, Craig?
I thought it was our deputy. I don't remember his name.
Isn't it Sean or is it?
No, shouldn't be Sean.
Nah, he's the FS.
Yeah, he's the FS. Who is it?
So that's definitely something we're gonna have to address on Monday.
Yeah, I talked to Chuck about it, and
Yeah.
Sean was gonna go ahead and resubmit that person, so they get the paperwork, so they can get it done.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's in the works to be done. And,
All right.
and I think Sean's got it
Yeah.
under control.
Okay.
Is that a P that, what is that?
Pending.
Pending.
Okay.
They're waiting for the background check probably.
Yeah,
And which one is that? The Grand Night or is that?
Yeah. that's you.
That's you.
And didn't we talk about that you're actually both of them?
Again, community.
Grand Night and Community.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, the community director doesn't have the other
The background check.
right, just the training.
It's just the.
You know, they did send out a letter from Supreme that you have to have at least 2 people to cover all the positions.
Right.
So,
And I think we're okay there.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because that's in force right now. So
Yep.
anybody who's good is good.
And then at St. Martin's in Prosper, Community Director. I don't know.
Finally got him reinstated. They transferred him out of our council. No, they transferred him out of our council.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get it. Dominic submitted like 4 times. Supreme did, Terry. And
Oh, that's the one you helped me with.
Probably.
Yeah.
and finally I got a hold of someone up there.
Yeah.
She says, well, why is he your community director when he's transferred? Or I said, no, he hasn't transferred.
Let's just say they've got a few issues with the prospect tab and the candidate tab.
Yeah. Well, that person was transferred out and there was no request for them to be transferred out.
Yeah, that was on our prospect tab.
Yeah. Since 2018 or whatever.
Well, there was one guy, Vladicek or something.
Yeah.
Jimmy called him, he said, well, you guys haven't responded, so I'm not interested. But there was another guy, Miguel Quinones. And he went through the first degree last year with the 6 other guys, Thompson and some of the others, and he appears on this candidate thing. And I thought, all right, well, accept.
Yeah.
So then I get the council statement and it said transfer. Then I get the next council statement that says transferred in and we're +1.
Okay.
They doubled
We'll
it up.
take it.
Yep.
We'll take it.
I don't know, but I'm positive he was one of the 7
Or you
Yeah,
never
we
got
got
credit
last year.
last year.
Yeah.
that we got last year. Now, he never came to any of the meetings, but I don't know how he ended up on this candidate tab.
Right.
But I clicked him in, and so now we got 1 new member. That's the 1 new member?
Yeah. And probably didn't get credit last year.
Right.
Because you're not seeing them twice on your roster, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But it was enough for us to get Star Council.
Yeah. last-
Don't complain.
So they counted them then because we needed 7 last year, I think. And we got the 7th one
On the last day of the year.
on the last
No,
day.
It wasn't quite. Pretty darn close.
Yeah.
The 29th.
Yeah.
Late.
So, I don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
As long as they're not on your roster twice.
Yeah.
No,
You're fine.
happy.
Yeah, so,
They,
but they need to address that because if they think that's working, I'm not sure what they think it
no,
is.
they are aware that it's not.
Yeah.
And
This is the right guy to talk to.
you guys aren't the only ones across the state.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I think they're straining under the pressure of the number of people that are joining. So it's a good thing of it.
Yeah. Well, it's like anything else, right? It's like the finger in the dike. You put the finger in the one hole and all of a sudden there's water coming somewhere else.
Find a new place.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, we've added 600 members so far this year.
Yeah.
On e-membership. And last month, we added even more. So it's working.
Yeah.
So,
And the good thing, just so everybody knows, if you didn't hear on the diocesan mid-year, but Texas is #1 in terms of the membership. So that's going really well. The second half of the Star Council tracker shows that all the councils are quick start councils. So congratulations to all of the councils. Good job. Now, if you don't know where to get this information, this is on the chapter website. So that's kfc-ftw.org. Right on the home page, it's the Star Tracker is there. You can click that at any time and to get the update.
Oh, it's the Western Metroplex chapter.
Yes,
it's on the chapter
Unite site?
website.
the Unite site. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And you can check it. Was it every Monday it's updated that he's trying to update it?
He's trying to do it.
Yeah. But definitely you can just check it before your meetings to get the update on the Star Tracker. So everything's working well there. From membership growth, it's just the discount continues through this fraternal year. So McGivney 2020 is still there as an incentive. And then the other thing to point out, the kfc.org/join us. I don't know if you listen to Catholic radio at all, but Vince Scully promotes it. I have it on my mobile. If you don't, you encourage the knights, especially ushers, knights that are ushers, to put it on their mobile phone, because you can actually capture the information there from somebody who's interested a lot faster than having the whole Form 100 conversation.
Right.
Okay, and then those leads get into your tabs. Is it the candidate tab?
No, if you use the website to gather the information.
Yeah.
You have to put the email address of where you want it to go.
Yeah.
So ideally, you would send that to your membership director.
Yeah.
And then he can use that to go in and put in the candidate.
Gotcha.
So.
But it's a lot quicker.
Oh, yeah. And also, when you do that, Supreme puts them on a news feed.
That's what it
and
is.
tries to get them to join on e-membership.
That's right.
So.
And then, so Dean, I got 2 nights to join Prosper through that. Just real quick, we get people in.
We got 3 in the application.
Yeah. So that's good. So the incentive is still there. Make sure you guys are utilizing that. There was also discussion on various ways to drive membership. We just talked about online e-member, inviting potential members to exemplifications. Use that website, kfc.org, join us, and then church drives. And we know that that's an issue right now, actually doing a strong church drive. But if you guys are working towards a March church drive, the day to order the kits, the church drive kits, is tomorrow. So keep that in mind. You're about a month and a half lead time to order the church drive kits to when you actually execute on a church drive. At some point, we should be looking at every council getting a church drive together, prior to the end of this fraternal year.
And even our parish, we're actually handing out bulletins again.
Yep.
So if you're handing out bulletins, then you can use that to get the word out.
Yep. And
Can't do it during Lent though.
What? Why not?
Sure you can.
We're not going to give them beef sticks, but we are going to promote fish fries. So, and you're talking about bulletins, and so Dean, maybe when we have the open forum, you can talk about what you guys are doing with the bulletins now. All right.
We're going to have an exemplification February the 13th, Saturday at 6 p.m. after the 5 o'clock mass.
All right, so we'll get that over to the diocesan deputy, so we'll get that on the schedule. All right, and just so that all the councils know, if you have any recruits, we can send them over for a live exemplification over to Prosper. Ultimately, with those live exemplifications, we should be having one a month across the district. Okay. Now, is there anybody who is practicing right now, has the team together and practicing? Carrollton? Nope. All right. So Dean, looks like you're going to carry the load until we get a team together at all the councils. We'll just consider Prosper as the district site until you guys get your teams together.
And you can read it. So there's nothing wrong with reading it.
Yeah.
Best is to have it memorized.
Yeah.
I got my part.
You do.
Wear it always.
So, but anyway, and the materials to hold it is pretty easy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it also helps that we have a pastor over in Prosper that is a huge supporter of the Knights, and makes it possible to happen there. All right, so we talked about online, we talked about e-membership, we talked about the church drives and parish blitz. Any questions on any of those activities? None? I mean, the biggest thing that I think whenever you do a church drive is to have the pastor doing a pulpit announcement. I also saw, I think it was in the Texas State website, where they had a template for the pastor to send out invitations.
Supreme has one.
Supreme has one too, but I definitely saw it on
Tailored one.
Texas.
I haven't seen it.
But if you guys have any recruits or any new family members, maybe you can secure your pastors to send out that invitation. And the template is there. So whether it's Supreme or State, look at the resources. They have a template there, making it real easy for the pastor. Even if you just get the name, just have the pastor sign the letter, you guys send it out on his behalf. But that's another resource.
Can you do the church drive in conjunction? We're doing the wheelchair.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can do both. Anytime you're doing anything like the fish fries or wheelchair thing, you could do a membership drive. I mean, ideally, you've got it always there.
Yep.
And anybody who's interested, get them signed.
When it's not virtual, yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Our fish ride is gonna be
The grab and go.
Yeah, but there's nothing to stop you from putting a little piece of paper in the bag saying.
You
We
can.
already got bingo in there though.
But you can stuff the I'm a Knight.
We ain't out of the book.
You got the I'm a Knight cards. Stuff those I'm a Knight cards in every one. Yeah.
And send them to the online membership.
Yep.
And make sure you got your council number on it.
Just put the council number on there. I was at Adoration last night, and there was a young man that was having some issues, and I sat down and talked to him for a little bit, and I handed him the card, the I'm a Knight card. I said, "There's brothers that can support you in what you're going through. So prayer and fraternity is important." I gave him the card, and I showed him where to sign up and the council number. That's a great lead-in to have a good discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Need to pass them out at the meetings, I think.
Yeah.
In the hands of all the members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So what are we doing right now to recruit new members?
If I see anybody looking at the kiosk, I approach them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now the one thing, everybody should be, when you do attend live mass, wearing your name tags, right? That's a process everywhere? That should be a process everywhere. And I think, again, having those I'm a Knight cards ready to hand to people is important too. But is there any active recruiting tactics being put into place? So I'll take that as a no.
Well,
I think Rob, we do the color core. That seems to get a little bit of attention, I've noticed.
Yeah, and did you ever get any response when we showed up there for the patriotic rosary when we went up there?
Not that I'm aware of,
Okay.
but I wasn't able to make that event.
Yeah.
So I hadn't seen anything specific come out of that.
So so the Assembly 2662, we have 10 people signed up. I think there's about 6 that will actually participate. Right? So we got Craig, Terry, Dean, myself, Brandon,
Paul Park.
Paul Parks, and
Don't forget Dan.
Ruben.
yeah,
Ruben has been there every
and
time.
Dan Witorsky. So there's 8 of us. So and right now the only fallout request that we're getting is coming from Dean. So if there's ever a need for a fallout request, well, I shouldn't say that because we did a funeral in Carrollton and we did another fallout. We've been asked from other areas, but if there's ever a need, make sure that you get in touch with Dean, who's the captain of the assembly, for those fallout requests. And the other thing in West Virginia that we did is we used to, and I think you're doing it too, what we used to save rosaries at the doorsteps. And I think your rosary program, you're actually going to the houses, right?
Yeah. We've had a traveling rosary program in the houses.
Yeah.
Working out of the council. It's not really been in action since COVID, but yes, we do have our chancellor, I think that's what strip matter is. Our chancellor actually coordinates that, and they would go around to houses and say rosary.
Yeah. So I mean that is a great program to put into place. It's also a good it is a recruiting technique too. I mean, it's not a direct recruiting tactic, but it's a passive recruiting tactic. All right.
No, that's senior. Yeah.
They note from the pulpit announcement for Father is in the membership recruitment manual.
Membership recruitment, man. Well, that's a pulpit announcement.
But it's also, they have a letter.
They have a letter too. Okay, so that's on the Supreme site. Membership recruitment.
And retention manual.
Okay. Everybody get that? Supreme site, membership recruitment resources, right?
All I did is I just went to Supreme, searched for membership recruitment.
Yeah.
And the manual's top on the list.
Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll take the link to the Texas site, to the state site, and push that out to everybody. It's probably the same letter.
Is that on the Texas State Council website?
Yep. All right. So obviously, just looking at if we look at the STAR Council program, the biggest challenge we'll have is going to be membership again. And so once we come into the spring and getting towards the last 3 months of the fraternal year, you guys work with your councils, within your councils, to try to put some kind of recruitment tactical plans together. All right, because I mean, we know Holy Cross and Pilot Point, you guys have a target of 7. That's going to be rough, right? Dean, you guys maybe send some keystones over to Prosper, and maybe Prosper can send them your way. Because I know hey Dean, just so you know, there's somebody from Salina that's over there that joined Pilot Point.
We didn't like the Grand Night of the
That's probably what it was.
I in a drunken stupor or something?
All right, so let's make sure we get that down and I'll just be checking in with you guys to see how we're doing on that. Faith in Action, obviously, is there any questions on the Faith in Action program? We know we need 16 points. You need 4 in each category. And then the bold ones here on the screen, those count as 2 points.
If you fill out the paperwork and you meet the minimum requirement.
Yes, that's right.
But they're not required, correct?
No, they're not required. The ones in bold are the ones that Supreme is kind of like.
Yeah, that's their preferred.
Those are the preferred ones, right?
I mean, if you look at that list under faith RSVP, I think all of our councils support at least one seminary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So check,
Yeah, for RSVP, right.
And then for community, we're all doing wheelchair drives, I think.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay, well, it's an
But
easy
the
one
leave
to
no
do.
neighbor behind, and there'll be a slide and leave no neighbor behind next. That's easy to implement as well. And that's worth 2 points.
Yeah, I'm working on getting that started in Carrollton.
All right. So do you guys know how many points you currently have or you're planning to have by the end of the year? We'll just start off with Carrollton. Do you know, Greg or Terry?
I mean, I think we're about.
Don't know.
Yeah.
You're about halfway?
Yeah, because we've been doing blood drives and we've been doing food drives and we've been doing, raising money for St. Vincent de Paul. We do the wheelchair drive and, let's see.
Now, do we all get credit for Special Olympics because of the dues? We do, right?
Not
Okay,
the
so
dues for the charity.
the charity, right? Just so that everybody knows, I have charity pins, state charity pins, if you want to purchase any state charity pins today. But so Special Olympics, that form was due.
Due on the 15th. Which
Yeah.
is probably tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And I think everybody's got it in. And just so that everybody knows, if you didn't get it in, I submitted one
You can
on
update
everybody's behalf at the state meeting. Okay, so that's 2 points right there.
And the helping hands, you can use as many times as you want, I was told.
Well,
Yeah, don't forget, guys,
Once.
about the plate. You know, we can get a plate and to get our plates, that counts in the charity goal too.
Yep, that's a good point.
Get our what?
The plates for charity goal. The license plate.
Oh, yeah.
What else are we doing from an events perspective in the individual councils? So we got Carrollton. How about with you, Frank? How's your council looking in terms of the points? The 16 programs.
Yeah, I was just referring back to what is it, the Form 12, whatever, 1230.
Internal survey report.
The 1728 that Larry put out, just trying to figure out, because there's not a direct correlation, but just looking at the points there, it's
Yeah.
hard to tell. We might be halfway there.
I was looking, I think we had about 4 or 5 of those highlighted events.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
So those count for double too. So
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, I think we're at least halfway there. Just
Okay.
looking at the 17, 28 that Larry just submitted.
All right. How are you doing, Anthony?
I see 4, 6, 8. I see about 8 points so far.
Okay.
So we're about halfway
You're
there.
about halfway, so that's good place there. I know, talking to John, last year, I think it was the faith area
Mhm.
was the one that he had some concerns with.
Okay.
Well,
We got RSVP. That's all.
Yeah, RSVP is good. And Into the Breach is an easy one for you guys to do too.
Okay.
All right, if you just go through that program, it's 8 series.
8. Some people, that was like at
They were adding stuff to it.
Yeah.
But You know, you guys were talking about the building the domestic church kiosk.
Yeah,
That's just easy.
yep,
It's just flat easy to do.
that's us.
Is it the CIS booklets?
Yeah.
So you just,
Yeah,
Just
they
purchase-
actually sell a kiosk that's a cardboard thing you stand up, and there's, I don't know, 18 different booklets in
well,
it.
there's like
20,
Well, no, there's hardly.
or 15 booklets.
15 booklets.
Yeah,
Yeah, you get 15 for, I believe $150. You
Yeah.
get 15 copies of each one of the 15.
Yeah, so if you just do that, that qualifies. All right, so just make sure, and this is all in your leadership guides. Take a look at that just to make sure that your councils are working towards those 16 points. All right?
do we have anybody doing the basketball free throw?
No, so we've been talking about that, and we probably won't have anything in the district, but we'll promote the diocesan. And so if we do have anybody at the local councils, they can qualify at the diocesan, right? Or are we not doing that this year?
Well, we're still in negotiation.
Of a site?
Yeah,
Okay,
so what I would recommend is if you do have somebody interested in it.
Yeah.
Find an upside basketball court somewhere, have them come and shoot baskets and write them up.
yeah, so we do have that in Prosper. We have the basketball. You have any basketball hoops out here outdoor?
like not on site.
Yeah, not on site.
So, but it could be at a school, it could be at a rec center.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be here. Normally, yeah, we would let you shoot before we started the
Yeah.
deal. But right now, they don't even want us in the freaking building. So
Yeah.
we've got an appeal with the bishop. So,
Yeah, a lot of our kids are in leagues
Yeah,
that play Saturday and Sunday.
And, you know, if they've got a league like that, see if you could come in before or after and have them shoot there.
Yeah.
So, or, you know, talk to the coach or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Well, we
And,
used to have it on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But they have leagues on Sunday too.
right,
So,
but your best bet is to talk to the league
yeah,
and see if
yeah,
you can get them to sponsor it basically at a council level.
yeah, that category, community, that's not one we need help in.
I know, but if we're doing it.
Yeah.
I only bring it up because potentially, right now, the state doesn't have a spot either. So what may end up happening is we shoot all the baskets at the diocese level.
Yeah.
And then send the sheets up, and they don't have a participation down in Austin. So,
Well, now that Hardin's gone from Houston, there might be some room there.
yeah. Move on.
All right. So here's the Leave No Neighbor Behind. This is a simple program to put into place. There's just 5 things that we need to do. You know, and it's things that I think we all do. Support your brother knights, support your parish, support your community, feed the hungry, and do the blood drives. All right, so just make sure you go through the documentation of Leave No Neighbor Behind and get that included. It's worth 2 points.
Now, if you do 2 blood drives, it's 2 points for helping hands. You do 3, it's 3 points. You can use helping hands as many times, that's what you have to write it up as on 1728.
I don't know that. It
I
may be
asked
true.
Supreme, no, I asked Supreme Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
No, but
Helping Hands isn't on this list. Where is
It
it?
is.
Where am I missing
The
it?
bottom of the
Under
community.
community,
Bottom of community.
you can use that.
Oh,
as
there it
often as
is.
you want, because that's,
So you can do it 4 times and you
I
get
think
your
we did
4
it 8
points.
times last year.
Hey,
Well, that's why he's a 6-star.
I'm at the
Council.
diocesan, or not the diocesan, the district meeting.
All right, so let's spend some time in the discussion from a member experience.
Good call.
And one of the things that I'm interested in, how are we communicating? How are we ensuring that our members are even from a retention perspective, that the members are having a great experience, that we're keeping them active, we're keeping them engaged. What are some of the things that we're doing in the councils?
I'm calling.
You're calling them?
Not doing a good job on retention.
The,
It's mostly the sick guys who I'm calling.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
but the leave no neighbor behind, that the keystone in that whole thing is get a committee together and have them call all our members. And just ask them, how you doing? Do you need anybody on the prayer list? You know, we're there to support you if we can. And check up on them at least monthly. I mean,
Yeah.
Supreme would like us to do it at least weekly. But if you take, you know, I took Carrollton and I've got 15 guys that we're going to be working with, and they call 10 people a month. Piece of cake.
Yep.
And then we roll together any issues. We roll together all the prayer requests. We present it at the meeting. So it's a great program. You know, you were at the Midyear meeting, and Bishop from
From El Paso?
no, the one down in Beaumont or wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cahill?
Yes.
Yeah, Bishop Cahill. One of the things he brought up was, as we get out of this COVID thing, we're going to have to go and call every member of the church and invite them back. So if we get a group of guys that are calling all of our members, then we could come back in 6 months or whenever things get back to semi-normal and ask all of our members, hey, can you call 10 parishioners? And, you know, we've got 15 guys calling 150 guys,
Yeah.
calling 1,500 people.
Yeah.
And our priests and our bishops would be thrilled for us to help them out. Actually listened to a podcast on the way over here from Busted Halo.
Yeah. Listen to them all the time.
And the one from today
Yeah.
is titled, What If They Don't Come Back?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was thinking, holy crap, that is the message that Cahill had.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have to ask these people to come back, and we're going to have to encourage them because, you know, you can set a habit in 40 days if you do it every day. And we've been in lockdown for 9 months now.
Yep.
You know, they're out of the habit of going to church every weekend.
Yeah. And all the councils have, you know, the parishes have online
Streaming.
right? Streaming of masses. I know it in Prosper, since Father Stephen cut it down to one mass. I mean, he was doing everything.
Right.
But he cut it down to one mass, and the attendance has come up, but still we're nowhere near where it used to be.
Third.
Yeah.
We're not even at the capacity of the 50% capacity.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So we're not, nobody is sitting in the narthex.
Yeah.
Everybody's seated in the parish, and we're in the main sanctuary, and we're not close to filling that. So,
But you bring up a great idea, and I don't know if any of the other councils are doing it, but if you think about us trying to get participation at the meetings, if we were to have a group calling our members maybe a week before the meeting or even a few days before the meeting and say, hey, there's a meeting coming up on Monday.
Yep.
Are you going to be there? This is what we're going to talk about. You know, if you're not going to be there, you're not doing virtual anymore, right? And it hasn't, you still got the same members showing up, right? I don't know if you're seeing any change from your virtual.
No, it's kind of still the same
Folks,
folks.
you know? And I think from watching what happened up in Pilot Point, you shut off the virtual and say, we're live and that's all it is. You just took those people from virtual and they're coming to the meetings now. And how many people are on virtual now at St. Martin's? Only a couple, right?
6 at that last meeting.
Yeah, I mean, would it hurt to shut it off? Would it hurt to shut off the virtual?
I think
You think it would hurt to shut it off?
Well, there's still enough people that have health concerns and people that are, like me, it was a secondary, somebody that I knew got COVID.
Yeah.
So, okay, then I'm forced to wait until I get a test that comes back negative.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's going to be going on, unfortunately, for another year.
Plus, you got 3 monitors going during those meetings.
Well, plus we have, wife is perpetually ill,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
very,
Oh,
just,
yeah.
just, this poor woman, I can't even believe it, but anyway, no, and I know why he doesn't come.
Sure. Because he doesn't want to take anything home with him.
Well, yeah, and,
He's kind of paranoid about the whole thing too, but he does have a wife who's been in and out of the hospital. I don't know how long.
I think he's been 250 days out of the last 5 years
Wow.
or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling.
There's a lot of people that are scared to death of getting COVID. And my mother-in-law has not set foot out of her house
Wow.
since May of last year, or March, whenever it started.
Well,
She stayed inside the whole,
so-
she didn't even step out on the deck.
yeah, so getting back to the program, I mean, if you can do that and get people to talk to other members that are not coming either live or virtually,
Get them online at least.
engage them, right? That's the biggest piece, is you're engaging them and at least get them online. But I think that's a good best practice from an engagement and driving that experience.
I've been thinking a lot about this, getting the No Neighbor Left Behind up and running. But the other part of this is we need to get back to the old newsletter days. And it doesn't have to be a newsletter. It could be an email that goes out once a month to everybody to let them know what the heck you're doing. Because we got so many guys that are sitting at home and it's in my retention talk that I'm working on.
Have you seen the Pilot Point newsletter?
No, I haven't.
Every month, like clockwork.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference. One of my first jobs when I started with the Knights of Columbus, I worked on the newsletter at 5052. And, that was in the old days when you printed them out, folded them out, put a stamp on them and mailed them out. Those ancient
You're still doing that.
I do that, because I have a big chunk of my council that doesn't use email.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but people kept those things and
Yeah.
they could see that, I'm spending, $50 a year for dues, but they could see we did food drive and we gathered this much money up or this much food and we gave it to St. Vincent de Paul, or we painted this or we helped that. We did our charity donation of $1,200 or whatever dollars. And
But
they
it's
feel-
promoting the good deeds that we do.
It's showing them that even though they're not doing anything
Yeah.
particular, just paying their dues helps us do this stuff.
Yeah.
Frank, every month you send out the minutes via Unite as an attachment. What if you sent them open?
Yeah, I could do that.
And then that way, the guy doesn't see a little thing he's got to click on. Just he gets an
Right.
email right there on the front page. Is the meeting of the Holy Cross Council. Here's.
And I can do that section thing. I can just have a note saying, below, please find the minutes rather than an attachment. You're right, because a lot of times if you put stuff in a message, if you put stuff in attachments, people aren't going to open them.
They're not going to click.
Especially if it's.
You're lucky if they open your email.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And if it's the minutes.
Yeah.
But if they open it and boom, there's the logo.
Yeah.
And
Did you hear that, Brandon?
it says Holy Cross meeting.
I heard some of it, not all of it.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's got like a visual impact, right?
So there's the other thing is that this whole generational split that we've been dealing with as an order too, right?
Yeah.
is, and I think that's where the printed newsletter works real well with the older generation. On the flip side of that is the younger generation, which is our future of the order, and it's the social media stuff. So I think we have a good practice, and again, in the open discussion, talk about your newsletter. But I think having a newsletter for our older generation, but also having a productive social media program for the future of the order.
You could feed the exact same things that are in the newsletter
to
Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, it's not double duty.
No, it's the exact.
It's just a format.
You write the article, you put it in the newsletter, and then you put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it is double duty. I mean, any way you want to slice it, somebody's got to do the work to build the newsletter and make it look nice and crap like that. So
there is more work to do a newsletter. You got to have it formatted and everything. Yeah.
But writing the stories, gathering the photos, that's the same. It's just the process now of getting it into the channel. And that becomes two different people.
Yeah, and the format on Twitter and Facebook is easy because you don't have a lot of choices.
No,
So,
I mean, you can put it on Facebook and take the URL to the Facebook story, and that's what you put in Twitter.
Yeah.
So you just point them there. Now, from a social media perspective, the first question is, do we have a social media director in every council? I know Prosper does. Not in Pilot Point, not there. And we
have in Carrollton, doesn't do a lot, but we do have.
Well, but he and I've talked a lot.
Okay.
Okay. So it was interesting because he started a Facebook page. He actually reached out to Brandon Story, started a Facebook page, and then basically he said, I think that's what happened. That's a generational thing, right? So how old is he?
He's not a young man.
So, I mean, you got to have the right person, right? So in Prosper, Brandon, you're in your 30s, right? Or are you still in your 20s? You're in your 30s, right?
yeah, like 42.
You're 42?
Yeah.
Somebody new.
Holy smokes. You got to go younger, Doc.
I know. Got Nick.
Wait a minute, you're just a young whippersnapper.
Nick, what's Nick? 41?
You got to get younger.
Yeah, you got to recruit younger, Dean.
Yeah. But that's I think, you got to have a plan. So I know that one of the things I talked to Craig and to Tillits and Bill about social media for the diocese. I am scheduled tomorrow to get trained by the state. So I'll be trained from the state for the social media, and then I'll start training throughout the diocese. But we need to make sure that, in my role there for the diocese, that at least our district has a good, strong social media program. The one thing is, Pilot Point doesn't have a Facebook page. Prosper does. Do you?
Yeah, we do, but nobody maintains.
So that's a no.
Bobby set it up several years ago and it's not been touched forever.
Yeah, I think the last update was 2015.
Yeah.
So
it's current.
Yeah, it's current.
And does Carrollton?
I think we do.
Okay.
I think I'm subscribed to it.
Okay.
I can't tell you that.
How much longer are we going to be allowed on Facebook? I mean,
no, it's
the Knights of Columbus is already being kind of tossed around as a forbidden organization by politicians. So.
As long as we don't have fish fries.
Yeah.
And virtual bingo.
Yeah, virtual bingo.
Yeah. The tide on that is changing.
Yeah.
So don't be too concerned right now.
But so let's just do this. Let's find somebody at every council that would be your social media director, and we want to get just a district group together so that we can get information out to the younger generation. If nothing else, we do have a district page, so we can point all of the stories and everything. Like I can pull stuff right out of your newsletter and put it on the district page.
Okay.
All right. Same thing with Carrollton and with here at Holy Cross. If I get your minutes, I can pull stuff from the minutes and just plug and play. Send me pictures, we can plug and play. Brandon, Brandon, you're part of the district page, right?
Yeah, I post on there from time to time, not as often as the Prosper one though.
Yeah, but at the same thing is when you put stuff on Prosper, just share it to the other page. So we can do that so that way you guys aren't having to manage a page, but then you can refer people to it.
Okay, so then I can update. I do have a social media director now.
Oh, good. Who's that?
You.
That's good. All right.
Good catch.
So Brandon, you're the first one that I'll train for the KFC program. We already talked about some retention plans. The one thing that we need, and it's going to hit Anthony the most right now from all the councils that I've talked to. We're sending about 20, I think it's 20 members that have been paying dues for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And working with John.
We've just been dragging them around. Never can't seem to get rid of them.
Yeah. So I communicated back when we had membership training. I communicated that you guys probably would have a loss of 20. We just can't do anything from a suspension plan until after March 15th.
And I dispute that, but.
That's the guidance. The one thing.
Dennis Trainer and I had a long discussion.
Yeah. The one thing that we definitely want to push is the resignation letters. And, again, Pilot Point, John DeShad and I John's group has been doing everything. I've been hang on. We've been communicating with these folks and been saying, you guys have to tell us what your intention is. If your intention is to resign, you got to let us know that. The other thing that was brought up was if we have brothers that are no longer active members because they're not Catholic, we need to know that too, because then we can go to our priest and get a letter from the priest that the member's no longer Catholic, and we can use that. And if that happens, it does not count against us. Okay, you had something?
When you say resignation letters, I think withdrawal.
Withdrawal.
It's withdrawal, but a lot of people say resignation.
Yeah.
It's terminology.
Yeah. Okay.
So when they talked about withdrawal, like at the chapter meeting, they said, now does the member have to put their member number on there, or do we just put the member number on
It's
there?
best that we put it on there for them.
Yeah.
Because Supreme has a bad habit of dropping the wrong person.
Yeah.
Or transferring the wrong person.
That's right.
Yeah, so give them a number. It makes it somewhat fail-safe.
I was under the impression that we could not encourage.
You cannot, but if
But
somebody.
you can
says-
ask them.
No, technically you shouldn't, but that's the official line.
I got it.
But if somebody sends you an email or writes on their dues notice, I want to withdraw or quit the nights, then you can forward that to the membership department.
Be still my heart. Yeah, I know,
No
but
problem.
nobody responds. I put it in the billing. It says, if you're not active, you can withdraw. Nobody responds, nobody reads it, they still.
So that's another problem.
Yeah, but if you were put that program in place with this call-in tree,
Yeah.
we can reach out and we find out from a brother, look, I want to withdraw. Then at that point, we can say, you need to send us an email or a letter
Well,
stating that.
back in the day, I had a bunch of guys send me an email. I'm no longer interested in being a knight, I want to withdraw. Boy, I copied and I printed that, stapled Form 100, sent it to Supreme, and they were withdrawn.
Yep.
But I can't get them to send me any type of communication.
The members.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I will tell you, when I was calling the list from Pilot Point, I was reaching people in Arkansas,
Oh, yeah.
Louisiana, you know, that they're not even living in Texas.
Yeah, but that's,
And I've asked them, send me a withdrawal.
or
You know.
transfer local.
Well,
That's-
they just don't want to.
Right,
That's like next.
that's another
Yeah,
issue.
yeah.
But,
So those are the folks that would, you know, ultimately that list of 20, we'll go through that process on March 15th. Prosper, you're not there yet.
Another thing needs to happen is they need to be told that if they are arrears in the dues, they're not responsible for that. They can start.
Oh,
new.
yeah.
Try that.
Yeah. Yeah, John's been doing that for years.
yeah, when
And I did
You
it for
did it?
years when I
Yeah.
was fifth.
There you go.
yeah, the first thing I do is go to the Supreme site
Mhm.
and void out any past due amounts. Do well, it says void,
it just void the transaction.
Yeah.
void the assessment.
Right.
Yeah.
It's because otherwise they're gonna get a bill for $80.
Yeah.
Right.
By voiding it out, every year, everybody gets a building statement for $40.
I mean, if you didn't collect the dues last year from them and you didn't suspend them last year, you waived their dues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
They need to be told that, because some people think that
Right. And then,
in order to become.
Well,
active,
that gets back to making the contact.
Right, the
Yeah.
human voice.
They need to be told it's costing the council $25.
And that's the other thing.
Supreme and state charities, the state per capita, Western Metroplex, a stamp, you know, the whole bit. I mean, it's about $25.
yeah, it's about 20. If you can get $20 out of them, you basically break even.
Yeah.
So,
Contacted Pat Fallon.
Yeah.
Personally, talked to him on the phone,
Oh,
and got to a point where I was just starting to say that you are costing the council money. And he said, I've got someone on the other line, can I call you back?
Never talk to them again.
I cannot talk to him.
You know what? He'll probably put that in a bill.
Yeah.
All you need to do is start calling newspaper and just tell them Pat Fallon's a deadbeat.
All right, let's keep going because, you know, we're already over an hour. I want to get you guys out of here by 8:30. Formation, here's an idea, okay? I know by going to your individual council meetings, the only chaplain that I see show up on a regular basis is Father Stephen. And even when Father Stephen, I shouldn't say that, Father John? Father Martin, John Martin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Father Martin's there too. So those two guys are there all the time. What we do have as a resource for the chaplains, and something that you can replace the chaplain's report if the chaplain is not there, but as a resource is the Supreme Chaplains Challenge. Have you guys gone on Supreme site and looked at the Supreme Chaplains Challenge? It is so take a look at that. Every month there is he sends out information, and then it's in the chaplain's report too. So the chaplains that are signed up for the chaplain report are getting it every month. But then there's a chat, there's a talk that happens. So every member is to read that story, and then at the meeting there's questions to ask and have a discussion of the chaplain's report, and then talk about what's coming next. Okay, so that's a
Can you do that
reason.
in 2.5 minutes? 'Cause that's all the chaplain has.
This will probably be a more worthwhile report than what we're hearing from the chaplains now. Okay?
I mean, I think with 8493, it seems like we would have to see if we could engage one of the deacons
Yeah.
to serve in that role.
And-
Because then I don't know that Father's been real interested in doing that.
Yeah.
Here. Man, we had, like, when Father Eagle was here, he was an awesome
Yeah.
chap.
Yeah.
But
So my whole, so you're doing a good job in that your council has a faith component in every meeting.
yeah, our manager was awesome.
Your elector is awesome. Our elector up in Prosper is non-existent. All right, so there's not a faith component. Anthony, I don't think you have a faith component in your meetings other than whatever Father Martin shares, right? And Carrollton, I don't think there's a faith component. So this is a program that you can put into place to ensure that we have a faith component. The reason why I'm bringing that up is by talking to potential night members, what the young men are most interested in is the faith component. They're less interested in drinking beer, flipping fish, and burgers and golfing.
Let's do
Okay.
that, 'cause that's the core of our program.
But look, we have Brandon on the line right now, and Brandon, when I was talking to you and Nick and your wives and other younger knights, like Dave Myers and what have you, faith was a big piece of it, right?
Yeah, it depends on if my wife's around. If yes, I would say faith. If no, I would say beer.
That's true.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But so just use that in terms of driving the faith program. Other
Communicate
things.
with the priest. I mean, we have yet to have one like that.
Yeah, and you know what? I signed him up for the chaplain report. I told him to use it as his update. I think Father Martin does a good job of bringing a faith component. Father Martin does great prayers too. When he opens up the meetings, there is a faith component there. We just have to sit him down, and maybe the three of us get together. Maybe you can invite me.
He talks business. He doesn't talk faith.
He talks business, and a lot of the knights don't really care about business. Okay?
Well, not that.
No.
Especially when it's much shorter.
Yeah. So maybe one of the breakfast meetings you have with him, invite me in, and we can talk about this. Yeah. Yeah. I just think that we need a faith component into what we're doing. Parish retreats, I think everybody's involved with in some format with any of the parish retreats or men's clubs. You have acts here. Do you still do acts?
Well, not since, it's been over a year.
Do you have any men's club stuff that?
But we are the men, the Knights are the men's. club.
Okay, all right. Do you guys have any parish retreats or anything like that?
We have a men's club that's separate from the council.
Yeah.
It's basically a Saturday men's prayer group
Yeah.
is what it is.
Prosper has that as well.
Yeah, we have a Saturday morning men's prayer group that's kind of been in suspense since we can't meet.
Yeah.
But we do have that group.
Okay. Carrollton, you guys have anything outside of the Knights? Any other parish clubs that we
Got
can?
Dean, what's that? Or not Dean.
Terry?
What is
Yeah.
it called that they do on Saturday morning?
Well, they haven't had it in a while because of the COVID,
Yeah,
but I know what you're talking about. It's a breakfast event.
yeah, it is a prayer and reflection thing. St. Joseph's?
Right. Yeah, St. Joseph's, that's it. Yeah.
So, and one of our members leads it.
Oh,
So-
well, that's good.
Yeah.
And the whole reason for the discussion there again is how can we as individual councils or as an order get involved with parish retreats, sponsor them, what have you. And I would caution one thing. I know in Prosper, that group was asking the Knights to sponsor things, but would not give any credit towards the Knights. Wouldn't let the Knights publicize that they were providing the meal or anything else like that. So
And 90% of the group are Knights.
Yeah,
I mean, but the two that were at the top, the 10%, don't like the Knights for some reason.
but they like your money.
that's exactly right.
But
Well, they probably didn't have enough beer. That's the whole deal behind it, see?
But you guys are doing, you guys get a lot of mileage out of the, when you guys are doing the breakfast, don't you? Yeah. You're serving, what was it, 500?
When we're doing all of the faith formation.
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing, it's probably 400 people we're feeding.
Yeah.
When we do faith formation.
So, I mean, so look at that opportunities, you know, because every parish should have a faith formation group. And how can we as Knights get involved, sponsor them, and that can be a possible recruiting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea.
All right. And then the other thing is make sure part of your faith formation is utilizing the into the breach
I think,
program.
Was it at was it the diocesan meeting where they talked about incorporating that into, like we have our dinner before the meeting?
Yeah.
Like maybe as part of that dinner time, showing the video.
Yeah.
Those videos are pretty awesome. I've seen a couple of them. They're really well done.
Dean's doing that now.
We start with that first,
Sure.
and then have the meeting or the meal, and then maybe talk during
Talk during the
eating.
meal.
Talk during the meal.
That's not a bad idea.
But you can't really, kind of get into distancing, you know, sort of, you do one and then the other. It's
Yeah.
hard to incorporate them because people are coming and going, and
Yeah.
and you need to really sit and watch it. Yeah. So we start at 6 with the end of the breach.
And the one thing I would say is like the first time that Dean did that, they showed the video, but there was no discussion. And so there was no follow-up. And then we basically from a planning perspective said, we're missing an element here. So now it show the video, guys grab a meal and come back and say, okay, let's discuss, have an open discussion now of what we just saw. And I thought that was very valuable.
That was good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and you're doing 2 videos at a time?
Two,
Yeah.
about 25 minutes.
Yeah, they're all around 11.
Yeah.
Most of them are 11 or 12 minutes long.
And they have the guide, so it's not like you have to develop the discussion questions.
It's really easy for them too. We used to do the rosary before the meeting,
Faith formation took over.
which was good. But these are, you can just show them, I mean, not the same guys show up all the time, so
Yeah.
as soon as we get out of the first series, just start them over again.
Yeah, so this is the study guide that you can sign up for right off of Supreme. You can download the videos or send out for the DVD. And
Our faith, the director is handling.
so I highly recommend that you put that into play. Future trainings, you should all be receiving the alerts that come out from Supreme for fraternal webinars. If you're not receiving those, make sure you let me know. This is the next one that's coming up next week, which is going to talk about the second half. The other thing is that we know that Craig's here to help with training as well. He's a great resource for us to have. But if you're not getting those alerts, let me know. Okay?
Put that on the same day as my FS class. I was like, yeah, okay.
So a big concern I have is succession planning. All right. And we know right now that we got Holy Cross and we have St. Martin de Porres that has some concerns going forward with succession planning. I think you got your succession planning is based on if you get any new members. Otherwise, you guys are just in a rotational pool, And then Carrollton.
We generally find them and bring them up
Through the chairs?
Yeah.
So
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got my deputy Grand Knight is pretty much going to be the next GK.
Great.
But I'll be in for 2 sessions before he moves up.
Got it.
We always do. Well, Roland's skaked out on that, but normally we do 2 years.
2-year terms.
Yeah, we do
That's what we do. We do 2 years.
You guys are
The
in.
Grand Knight moves up.
We are in abnormal.
Every normal.
We're currently in abnormal mode.
But normally, are you in a 2-year term or do you do 1-year
Yeah.
terms?
Yeah,
2-year
it's
terms?
normally been a 2-year term. I
Yeah.
always say that, it's a 1-year deal with an option.
Which is optional.
Unfortunately, I didn't do poorly enough in my first year, so I got
3 more years.
We
I got 3 more years.
changed his name from Prince.
Franklin.
Franklin Delano Ramirez.
Yeah.
3-term Frank.
Yeah. So the whole thing is just, I know when I was first became a knight, there was all these talks about the succession planning is working your way through the elected chairs.
Yep.
And I just want to make sure that every council, if you haven't had that discussion, make sure you have that discussion. I think, I just, at the planning meeting for Dean, I brought that up and we had that discussion and there were some jaws that dropped. Because I don't think that was ever brought up.
In most councils, it is that way.
It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just make sure that, that we do have that plan in place, that chairs in place to work through. Now, I'm a result of a council that did not have it in place. And I was the fastest kid at fat camp. Okay. You move into West Virginia and 6 months later, you're the Grand Knight. Okay. Now I was working my way through the chairs in California and Kentucky, so it wasn't like a huge step, but still, when there's not a succession planning in place, it could really hurt the council. So make sure you guys have that conversation in your planning committees, your planning sessions, not your business meeting. Have it in your planning sessions so that you can work out a succession plan.
One of the training sessions for the new meeting protocol, the Grand Knight, was he 30, 31? And then the district deputy was probably 33.
Yeah, they were younger guys.
They were really young.
Yeah. The last training.
They were from New Haven.
Yeah, that's the actual council.
Yeah.
They use the real numbers.
Yeah.
But I mean, those guys were extremely
Younger guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, if you've been in that neighborhood, it's literally across the street from you.
Yeah.
The building
So
on
they
the
did
other
the
side of
college.
St. Mary's.
did the college thing and then probably
Yeah.
jumped.
All right, so now we're at the open discussion, and we'll start off with Anthony. Just talk about your best practice, things that are working well for you. Talk about your future events and what have you.
Okay. We talked about newsletters.
Yeah.
That still works very well for us. This newsletter's been a staple of our council forever. And we do, we still print it out. We still send it out. We have to, because if we don't send it out, we're going to lose our bulk rate mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we still send it out every month. I send it out by email before, usually about a week before the council meeting with a note in there, remember, council meeting next week. And we have the pictures of the events in there when we have them. We have the birthdays for the coming month. We have the Grand Knights report, we have the Faithful Navigators report, and then we just kind of, there's stuff, filler, things like that. Our newsletter developer, publisher is the wife of a former member. And, she still takes care of it because she still wants to maintain that connection to the Knights.
Yep.
Even though her husband has passed. So, so
That's fantastic.
she still takes care of the newsletter for us, and all I'll be getting a text from her here in about 3 days that says, remember, I need my, and she takes care of it, and as long as I get it to her by about the 23rd of the month, then the whole thing just spits out and we run with it. So newsletter works very well for us.
Grab and go.
Grab and go. So like everybody else, most of our fundraising programs involve feeding people in a large group. And we couldn't do that. And so struggled with how we were going to try and continue fundraising. And Rob saw this firsthand as I'm like, dude, here's our accounts. Okay. We've got zero money coming in because we can't do any fundraisers. And we hit on the idea of let's do a grab and go meal. Basically we can't serve people, but we can put it in a package. We can cart it out the back door and we can put it in their car and send them on their way. And so the first one of these we did was August, I guess it was September timeframe. I guess it was September when we did the first one. And we just did pulled pork and, you know, the potato salad and things like that. And it was the first one that we did where we actually put out an online form. And then we sent the link out. We linked to the form off of the parish website. We did single flyer handouts at church and just kind of, you know, we had a little cut tab on the bottom that says you can either fill out this form and attach a check and give it to the church office, or give it back to one of us with cash at you know, after church, or go to the website and sign up. And we had 100 and I forget the number, it was something on the order of 130 plates that we produced for that. And what we found, what we took away from it was it's more expensive because of all of the packaging and everything else that has to go into it.
Yeah.
But we still made, you know, we still cleared our expenses on it, and we turned a decent little profit that we split with the church.
Yep.
And then based off of that, we went into Thanksgiving, and we decided that,
That was a missed opportunity for me.
man, I'll tell you what, that I had no idea that was going to pay off as well as it did. And we're absolutely doing it again.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
The parish loved it. It brought in so much money and so much exposure. We did the same thing. We turned the form on. We said, you want to buy a smoked turkey or a fried turkey? And that's what we did.
How big was it? About 10 pounds?
We got ones that were around 12 to 14 pounds.
Yeah, big turkeys.
Okay, so 12 to 14 pound turkey, and we were picking them up after the initial price, you know, after the initial price bump.
Yeah.
They came down and they were about 68 cents a pound for turkey.
Yeah.
And so we just bought, we did 28. I think it was 28 total. There were, no, it was more than that, because I had 8 on my smoker and I fried 6. So me did 14.
Yeah.
And then we had 20 on the big smoker. And then we had other guys. I think
You putting this together?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of birds.
Yeah.
It was a lot of birds. We didn't try to do them all in one place. We got together the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and we unpackaged them all. We had them all thawed. We dumped them in 60-gallon trash cans lined with plastic to brine them.
Yeah.
From Sunday to Wednesday. And then Wednesday, we spent all day Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We passed them all out early in the morning, about 7 a.m. We loaded up the one smoker that was at the church, which was the big trailer smoker. Yeah. And then everything else, we had, I guess there were 5 of us who cooked.
Yeah.
And the others all went to the houses. And like I said, I had 8 on my smoker and 6 that went in my fryer over the course of the day. And we reassembled everybody at 5 o'clock Wednesday night, and we had all the birds, we had the checklist, we had everything else. One of the guys actually had one of those little yard art blow up of a turkey. And so we set it on the back of the pickup truck and it plugged it into the pickup. And so we had this little inflatable turkey sitting there with the hat and everything. And it worked beautifully. We had everybody come by. They were packaged in foil. They were, wrapped in bags, and they were all nice and warm. And they went right in the cars.
And that was like 100% on the jot forms too, right?
Yes, that was 100% through the online form.
Yeah.
And so everything was paid in advance. And we cleared $1,800 on that event after expenses. So it was definitely a great event for us. And so the next one now, we're using the jot form again. And we're lining up for a chili pickup. Because normally we do a chili cook-off
Cool.
the weekend before Ash Wednesday. As a Mardi Gras, Lent's about to start kind of thing. We do a chili cook-off. Well, we can't bring everybody together. So instead of bringing everybody together, we're gonna batch up the chili and package it in quart containers, and we're gonna sell it by the quart. We're selling for $10 a quart. And we just kicked open the form the other night.
Need to get on that.
And now we're gonna start marketing it. We'll basically pitch it over the next 3 weeks. And then turn off the form the week before the event so that we have our finalized number, and then we'll go buy everything. And
this is the champion cook, the chili recipe you're using.
it's not my chili recipe
Yeah.
because my chili recipe is too hot.
Too hot, that's right.
We actually took one of the other guys, his daughter is one of the regular competitors in the chili cook-off, and whether it's the chili recipe or just the fact that she's cute and she sells
Well,
chili.
there you go.
I don't know, it doesn't matter. She's won several times. So I just said, all right, we're going to use your chili recipe because you've won several times in the, in the regular, I can actually eat this chili category. So we've put that together, and I took her, she gave us the recipe. And I took it and I upscaled it so that we can make it in 5-gallon batches. And then sell it, and sell it in quart containers. So
I'm not missing out on the chili. I missed out on the turkey. I'm not missing out on the chili.
Get your order in.
I got to get the order.
Yeah, get your order in.
Yeah, holy cow. But that's some good stuff, right? And I know that you're already talking. You got all the process for the jot form.
Yeah.
You guys are talking.
Yeah, we got it on to Nick.
Yeah, and Nick's talking to okay.
Yep.
And then Carrollton, I know you've done some grab and goes, but I don't know if you have the process locked down like Pilot Point. Maybe it's something you guys can talk about.
We're pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
We don't sign them up ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, that was the winning thing.
We
I mean,
had to. There's no way I was going to be able to control quantities and costs and things like that if I had no idea what we were going to be wading into. So it's got to be pre-order.
Because we've been talking about an alternative way to do our fish fry.
Yep.
We were going to end up doing the same thing.
Because we had a good number of to-go orders when we do the regular way.
Yeah.
But the way you've talked about it in the jot form that they can order ahead of time, that will greatly help us manage the amounts and which can really, that can blow up. I mean, that can really eat into your margins if you order too much food that you don't use. So that, hopefully that'll help us there. I mean, I think, what's gone well is the people have been very flexible. I mean, first of all, we were able to continue I don't think we've missed a meeting, whether it was by virtual, or in person since the beginning. I was really surprised to hear that some councils haven't been meeting at all.
Yeah.
That's death sentence for your.
And so we immediately switched to like the virtual option. And then once we were allowed back in here, we started coming back.
Yeah.
Now it's, we're kind of down to I think it's the hardcore group at this point. There's not a whole lot of other people.
It's your 20% of the membership.
Yeah, if that, I think, if that.
10.
So I mean, and it's right, we're down to the hardcore group, but they've rallied to an event, like when we did the golf
tournament. Sure.
That was, after having canceled the 5K and then ceased the fish fries, it was great to have, it was a big win to have a successful event that really was almost as good as the year before, which was our best ever. So it was the second best results we had ever had.
Fantastic.
So, and then if we can pull off fish fries, I mean, it's going to be a disappointment that we're not going to have a casino night this year. But and talking about that, there was no way we're going to be able to pull that off.
Right.
And so
There's always virtual people.
yeah.
Do virtual.
You look good in orange, right?
Jump into here, that'll work.
We just do virtual craps.
Yeah. Did the lottery commission have Frank's name and number?
No, but they knew me personally.
Yeah, they did.
Was put on there as the director.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean,
All right, so you got your core guys are still engaged.
yeah.
Good golf tournament.
Yeah, and so if we can, I think if we can pull together for the fish fry,
Mhm.
it's just, I think once we get people together to do something, everyone feels good.
Yeah.
But there are still some that are just very,
Gun shy.
yes.
Yeah.
That are still, especially, well, I mean, considering that I think the average age in our council, it's like, hey, well, it's well into the, it's like well into the late, I think it might be 60s, in the 60s.
Yeah.
That's our average age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean.
That's okay. You guys are young compared to Point. Yeah.
So, we're still plugging, we're still plugging along and trying to keep it moving.
Yeah.
So it's kind
All right.
of, it's.
What about Carrollton? Best practices, what events do you have scheduled?
Oh, God, we've been doing our quarterly blood drives. I don't think we missed one. All our meetings have been virtual, the business meetings and the officer meetings. Along with the blood drive, we're going to do a grab and go breakfast and lunch. Those have been really successful. We announce them at mass. They sort of drive through and we do the whole thing.
Yep.
I don't remember how much we made, but we've been successful on all of them. And then that money is going to go to a building campaign because of all the new security stuff they need. And then the next month after that, we're going to do another drive and go. And that money is going to go for supplies to redo St. Vincent de Paul's. They've got a little garage and little place that they do food and that for parishioners. We're going to fix the soffits on it. Terry's got the full list of what we're going to do.
You gonna get the emblem on that?
No.
I just remember that was an agenda item or a topic of discussion for 2 meetings in a row.
So, but no, we're doing good.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never slowed down. We did a golf tournament last year. It was very successful. So, hey, Terry, what else have we been doing? Terry's not there.
Yeah, Terry fell off.
Anyhow, but we've been doing good. We need to do more recruiting, but we're doing the best we can.
All right, well, we're gonna get into the plans right before I let you guys go. Dean, you want to give us an update on best practices events that you got going?
Probably the best one is to have a priest that is a 4th degree and totally supports you. I mean, and guys that, it's like almost holding the reins back. And but I have a breakfast meeting with Father every month because he's so busy and his schedule and that. So that's one of the things that I picked up on that somewhere, and I've done that for the last 2 years now. So, and kiosk that sort of impressed me, and I thought maybe a push pin board or cart, just something like that. And these guys built this thing, and thank you, Brandon, for keeping it on there. And we also have they did not like, because I've got a lot of young guys, they did not like the newsletter.
Really?
They felt it was, but we're in the same part of the bulletin every week.
That's the one.
And so they go to that for the Knights Corner, and we review our stuff. Plus, we got the kiosk, and Brandon handles both. He keeps it updated on the TV, and then they can, for the people who are into print, they get that. But yes, we don't get enough recognition for what we do. a lot of guys, I've had a couple of young guys, I didn't know you guys did that. You know, I mean, that's the first word when they're standing there looking at the kiosk and they're paying the food, the coats for kids. We did, we got 2 points for that one. We did $2,500, I think, for that. And that was just a parish drive.
Yeah.
That was just a parish drive, just asked people for donations, and it was tremendous. Last year we did 5,800. I mean, it was just a tremendous outpouring of support.
The wheelchair stuff is always a big, when people learn, what we're doing for that. And the Codes for Kids is a big one. And then all the money we put into food drives last year, I think it came close to $3 million that we donated for food pantries around the country.
We had 5,000 pounds of food.
Yeah.
This last during COVID.
Gonna need a check for the, $1,000.
Oh, for the
North
North
Texas
Texas Food
Community
Bank,
Food.
the Super Bowl.
I can't control the money.
Well, I'm reminding you.
And our,
Because I called them, it was January 12th.
but we do need.
Now it's February or something.
Now it's February or March. Leonard said they moved it back. And so I said, who do I get the money to? And she says, you haven't been invoiced yet? And I said, no.
That's the invoice be
I said, no. And she said, well, I'll send a note to Karen. So Karen's probably gonna say, you haven't been invoiced yet? So I haven't been invoiced yet, but
Let me know how that feels.
it's coming.
End of my report.
Thank you,
Great bunch
sir.
of guys. They want to really do a lot of things. Reined in Deacon Jack, and then we've got a deacon that has like 5 projects and that he wants to do, but the night's got to be ahead of all 5 of them, So
Yeah. All right, so right when we go, I just want to go around and just get a projection for year end and 3 bullet points, takeaways from today's meeting. So we begin with you, Anthony. Right now you're at a 1+. We got that 20. Where do you think you're going to wind up from a net perspective on members?
Does that include the 20 that we want to get rid of?
No, that 152, that's the 20s in there. So when I reported it up for my meeting, I had you guys listed at a -15. So I don't, because I figure we probably can save maybe 5 of them. But I don't know if you guys have even had any discussion on this.
We haven't had any discussion on this. So if you said -15, I'll go with that and see where we end up.
All right. What 3 activities or, takeaways you have from today?
Probably make sure we've got the faith in action plan captured, it's the 16 points that we need to get. So I need to go back and review that. Action plan, you want like events we're gonna do?
Anything that we discussed today that is something that you want to, you feel you want to put into practice, or at least bring into the council for planning in order for us to get Star Council, or at least head towards the Star Council achievement?
I think that covered that. We need to come up with something to support Loretto House. I've been thinking about that. So we normally do dollars for diapers, shakedown after church. And just because we're not kind of doing that, hands-on kind of stuff, we're gonna have to try to tweak that a little bit. But we need to come up with something for Loretto House. And then we've got our fish fry. That's going to be the next follow-up after the chili event.
And, maybe there's a recruitment tactic that you can add to that fish fry.
Yeah, maybe that, yeah, that might be something we can do in there to encourage some new blood.
Yeah. So because of the 20, likely you'll be in the same situation you were last year. Columbia Award winner.
Yeah.
Unlikely to be a star council. And that's what I've reported. And I've also reported the fact that you guys are really somewhere between 3 and 5 years from having growth spurt when that growth area starts hitting Pilot Point. 'Cause
Yeah,
When the housing
exactly.
boom.
yeah. I mean, that's really what it is, right? So
As Frisco became Little Elm and Little Elm became Prosper and Prosper becomes Salina
Yeah.
and Salina.
and you're seeing growth in Aubrey. I mean, it's gonna. I'm showing homes right now in Pilot Point. So
Need to redistrict.
Yeah.
all right, Frank, where do you see the council showing up at the end of the year? You had a target of 7, you're +1 now.
I don't know, do we have any plans of,
One.
do we have any plans of like dropping people? I don't know that, I mean.
Don't get me started.
But believe me, I'd like to
Spoken
see-
like a true
I'd
financial.
like to see, you know, it's like,
His 20
Yeah.
is gonna look good.
I think if Larry and I had our way, we'd drop that, like, you know, we'd be showing like -100 on there and just be
Yeah.
done with it.
Negative.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Run us out of town.
But realistically, what do you think?
Well,
You got 6 months to go.
I mean, my goal is always to try to get to that target. I mean, we made it. I mean, you know, again, as Larry likes to point out, the asterisk.
Yeah.
Because it's like the Hall of Fame steroids deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we managed to eke it out last time. I'd like to think we could. I don't know, because last time we had that member drive in the fall, that's where we got 6,
Mhm.
and then we just barely dragged one over the line
Yeah.
on the second half of the fraternal year. And
Yeah.
it's I mean, honestly, maybe 7's too high. I mean, you know, if we could get 4 more members in, that'd be awesome, I think, all things considered. I mean, I would like to have 7 new members
Yeah.
total, so 6 more, but I mean, realistically speaking, I think if we could get 4 more people in over the next
So total of 5.
total of 5.
And what activities are you going to put in place to try to hit that 5?
So I think, you know, in looking at the faith in action, I mean, I can't help but think about some of the community, and by that, you know, I'm thinking like more like the church, you know, just some of the community activities being more visible, you know, in the parish, what's going on.
We were gonna see if we couldn't get TVs in the back.
Yeah, that was one thing. It's like, you know,
Like the kiosk. thing.
the 7304 kiosk is so impressive, but you know, it's like there's not as much room in the narthex
You
here.
can't have Ruben. You cannot have Ruben.
He was one of our.
He's a protected agent.
I know.
Protected agent.
But we were just thinking about asking Father if we could put up monitors
Yeah.
on each side of the, you know, 'cause in that narthex there, you
Yeah.
have monitors on each side with kind of simple.
Put flat screens up on the
Yeah,
wall.
I mean, we could probably get some 30-something inch for like
Mhm.
$100 each.
Yeah, $100.
And put them out there and just kind of rotate, you know, what we've been doing, you know, and in addition to offering the church, like if they want to have their Facebook stuff up there too, that's fine, but at least have something showing us as Knights and what we're doing in the parish, in the community and all, so.
So just so that I'm clear, what I'm hearing is the Faith in Action programs that you're currently executing on, you just want to communicate and publicize that more through the community. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was capturing it wrong at first.
Well, that, plus I think that, you know, in looking at some of the faith in that, like, you know, like the family week or family prayer night, I just think that for us, if we can work on with the faith development in the parish, I think that would kind of help people. You know, it's getting away from like the Knights just sit around and drink beer all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just getting people away from that. I mean, there are some naysayers who still.
Can I get you another one?
What's that?
Another one?
I got plenty here.
Yeah, you need another one?
No, I'm good. So, I mean, that's kind of, so that, I think, promoting that and having, programs, like focusing on family formation programs. Or, family week or family clinic, something along those lines that would involve more than just the council, but also involve the parish community, I think would be helpful for us.
Okay.
And then if, again, as far as other activities, and it's just doing our fish fry,
Mhm.
and just kind of, and because that always seems to engage the parish. The parish seems to very much support those.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you just tell them like, hey, a substantial amount of these proceeds are going back into the parish fund, or, for their building campaign, or pay off their debt campaign, which is the current deal. So.
What about a church drive?
Church drive.
Do you see that happening at all between membership drive?
Oh, no, we have to do that. I mean, we have to,
Okay.
that's, and so when I talk about getting to, getting 4 more,
Yeah,
and we've been talking with Antonio about, so we got, got to nail something down and get something scheduled. I mean, we just got to do it and see how it goes, because right now it's so hard to tell with attendance the way it is.
Yeah.
You don't know what the results are going to be. You don't know until you try.
Yeah.
So.
would Father Martin support a church drive?
I'm sure it would.
We don't really net much on the church drives
Yeah.
when church is fully populated.
Yeah,
So now the church is barely populated,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be even less.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a question mark. And I really think it's really the community. There's no growth in the community.
That's right.
Yes.
And so,
We've hit everybody there is to hit.
yeah, and it's the same here too, right? There's not,
To a certain
other than the tribute and some areas in the colony that are building out, you're not getting a whole lot of new population in here, are you?
But it's mostly transient.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it
South of-
is
South of 121.
all the
Yeah.
all the apartments.
Yeah, all the apartment buildings.
It is mind-boggling. You start at Old Denton Road
Yeah,
and come
Really?
around that little bend to Standridge,
all apartments.
thousands
Really?
and thousands and thousands.
Wow.
But if it's all young kids,
Yeah.
and I don't know how many of them are going to church with this lockdown. And,
Yeah.
Even before the lockdown, it's just kind of, that's the whole focus of a lot of the evangelization within the USCCB right now. Is how do you reach out to these unaffiliated, which is kind of the largest growing segment of the population, the nuns,
Yeah.
which is the largest growing segment of the population. So
All right. How about Carrollton? You wanna talk, or you leave that one blank?
I'm gonna say we'll hit the number.
All
I
right.
mean, we've been pretty active. We will certainly drop a few,
Mhm.
but I need to get on them about doing a membership drive. Right now, as far as I know, we don't have anything planned.
Okay.
I am getting the Leave No Neighbor Behind up and running. So that is my task. And then we're going to continue with the blood drives and the grab and go. And we're talking about doing something for Lent also, grab and go, fish fry, something like that. So, but
Okay.
we've got, one of the things that Terry's working on is the refurbishing of the St. Vincent de Paul building. And that's going to be a twofold thing. One is to advertise the Knights of Columbus to the parish. But
Right.
the other one is to get these guys out and doing something. So it's something to keep our members active. So that's it right now.
Okay.
I'm sure we've got a few more things in the planning stages. I can't remember. So
All right.
I did have a question. That kiosk that you guys had in St. Martin before?
Yep.
What software are you using to run that?
yeah,
Brandon?
we'd have to check with Brandon.
Yeah. Brandon, are you on, or did you fall off? I think he's gone.
I'd be interested to know what you use.
He's got it set up, he can do it from his phone.
Well, in fact, he had trouble setting that part up. Did he get it fixed? Because he was trying to use like an Apple TV deal and then communicate, but the problem was it kept timing out, so maybe he fixed it by now.
Yeah, I'd be interested because I'm in the same boat as you. I'd love to get something in our spot that it would work perfectly and do a deal where, okay, the church gets, 5 slides or 4 slides and we get 10 slides or something and loop through it. So, especially because we're becoming way more technological at our church with streaming of videos and everything else.
Yeah.
So
Maybe you can have Brandon just do a quick white paper on it that we can get to all the Grand Knights.
yeah, I'd be interested in seeing what he's doing. And
Sure.
if it's something we could do, that'd be great.
Okay. All right, Dean. You're sitting at 80, you got net target of 3, you're at 230%. What are you gonna end up with?
We got 3 next month.
All right, so that's 10.
Frank is like, share.
Yeah.
What do you think at the end?
We should have, I'd say we'd be at 90 members, so we should have under
Thank you.
5, 6 through the spring or something.
So total end of year 13 net? Okay. And what activities are you planned in order to hit these star counts?
We're already at 28,
Points?
just about the 17, 28. I put in helping hands multiple times. I mean, I've done every, when
I'm
we
gonna
do.
have to look into that because if that's true, we could be done with ours.
We got 6 star, I have no idea. We
Well,
got
with your
6.
with your blood drives and everything, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
each blood drive is 1 point.
We do 4 blood drives a year.
Yeah.
That's 4.
That's 4 points.
Cars still come in and stuff like that? That's how you do it?
Yeah, we can't let them in the building, but they
But
come
they
up with
just
a
bring the
bus. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've got it on the 20th, we're gonna be there. I have to be there 7:15 in the morning. But to get our 30 people, yeah.
So I got you down for church drive as well.
April.
All right. And is there another takeaway from today that you want to put into place that you heard from another council? Or
Yeah, I love the virtual, the fish fries and have it, because like Frank said, it's, the police department and the fire department are going to be disappointed because they're not getting
the leftovers.
But that will really bring it to the bottom line. You cook what you do and cook enough for the guys that are working, and that's it. And that'll be an incentive for them to show up. Hey, you ain't gonna get a handout. You gotta be here to get it.
Well, we took the full 2 hours. So
We're gonna continue Zoom.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
There's guys traveling, and it gives them an
Well,
opportunity.
And plus, you've got so many guys that are at Frisco Lakes.
Well,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's some very, you got some.
Well, that's it. I'm like dead center in the middle. We got a lot of guys older, and then we got a lot of guys
Young,
young.
very young, yeah.
And the 60s are right dead in the center, so.
Hey, well, I think what helps with the virtual is the new agenda. Because now you don't have a virtual meeting that's lasting 2 hours.
2 hours.
All right. A virtual meeting at 1 hour is a good use, of time.
That's probably the best thing they did, really.
Yep.
Of all the changes.
Yep. All right. Let's stand up for a closing prayer. We'll do Our Father, Hail Mary, and Glory be. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Blessed Father McGivney, pray for us. Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Pray for us.
Thank you, gentlemen.